look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Did I say something? The WBIT is not playing? But they are. Okay, never mind. You look at me like that. Then you would have heard. Okay, so they didn't get in the WBIT or the WNIT. And so the portal opened yesterday around the country. Men's basketball players filing into the portal on a regular basis. And JJ, 6 Lobo women's basketball players went into the portal. Paula Reyes, who's the one who got the most playing time. Coach Mike Bradbury said that she wants to transfer up, that she'll go to a high major, and think she'll get some playing time. You see her every day. What do you think?
Well, I can understand it. Her last opportunity, going to your senior season, trying to take that step up, and I think Paula, what she's done from being a all freshman selection to a core of this team has earned this opportunity in her college career.
All right, and then so the other players that left, amongst them, Jalen Bates and Talia Chavez, the two from Volcano Vista. Hannah Robbins, the daughter of former Lobo great Rob Robbins. We knew that was happening. She left the team back in December. We knew she was leaving. Mackenzie Curtis is leaving, and the sixth one is
Nahawa. Tiara birthday.
Okay, so I'll leave it. The story really yesterday was Jalen Bates' post, and the young lady who played in 22 games for the Lobos as a freshman in the 2022-2023 season. She only played in 8 games this year. She was dealing with an injury. She told Van Tate last night on Channel 13 that when she was trying to work her way back into playing time, she said she became frustrated because in her words, she said it didn't matter how well she practiced, she couldn't get on the floor. And she said it started to affect her mental health. Quote from her now: "Mentally, I just kept beating myself up. That's when things really went downhill. When my emotions are really fluctuating. That's when it was getting really tough towards the end of last year. That's when I checked myself into a psychiatric emergency room. That point, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't go to practice. I didn't want to do anything," end quote. I mean, that's alarming. I don't care if you know her, don't know her, like her, don't like, whatever. That's alarming that basketball got her to that point. And I'm glad that she went and got herself help. It seems like she's in a much better position. You know her, I don't. But and she's made the decision now that she's going to move on. I heard that yesterday, and I'm like, holy bleep! You do this for fun. You do this because you love it. You do it because you love playing basketball. You want to be in a good situation. You go get an education, and to get to that point. And I guess she didn't feel that she was getting all the support she needed either.
And a situation like that, it's one that basketball doesn't become your escape, and it's really similar to what we heard from Braden Applehans when he sat down and told his story too. It's you realize that, hey, there's a lot more going on with me that I can't figure out, and the stressors in your life magnify that. And certain people and what I'm glad about Jalen is that she had the courage to seek help for it. Because this wasn't just, I'm not playing, I'm sad. Obviously, it was way more than that. Like, it became something where they figured out, she acknowledged she was diagnosed with depression. And when you have these things that are going unchecked and you don't know how to handle them, and then certain things that, like everyday tasks for most of us, that it might just be like, that's a bummer. Like, it can send you spiraling out of control. And so that's why these stories are important for people saying, hey, sometimes it's not just as simple as get up and rub some dirt on. There might be something else going on.
And obviously there was here. I send her love and good thoughts. You want the best for, anybody, but somebody who's gone through that, and they're wearing New Mexico on their chest, and I don't care what they're wearing, man. This is people. But you hear that going on, and I don't Did you know any of this? So there's no way you knew.
I did not know.
Yeah. Okay. So, do any of the transfers surprise you?
Honestly, no. Just understanding the world we live in,
Yeah.
and players looking for opportunities. Like this group was solid. Like in terms of team chemistry, the work they were putting in. Like when you look at a player like Mackenzie Curtis, she's like the ultimate player you want on the roster. She practiced hard every single day. Great attitude. Just one of my favorite people just on that team, just on and off the floor. And you can understand it. It's just from San Diego. Went through a lot last year with the concussions, taking the red shirt, maybe looking for an opportunity to go somewhere else, play a little bit more, and it's understandable.
Yeah. All right, so 6 ladies leave. Mike Bradbury basically said, look, he told Ken Sickinger of the Albuquerque Journal, he says, every team's going to lose kids. There's a ton of movement. That's the state of the game. You have to approach building a roster year to year now. That's what we've been doing for the last few days, and it's just getting started, end quote. So it's basically, look, we're going to lose kids every year. And I don't think he's wrong. I mean, look, we have this conversation with football. It's not any different with men's or women's basketball. You're going to build a roster. I just some of the stuff that Jalen Bates said on the way out, I'm not going to lie, man. It makes you look twice, and it's a little alarming. And I know Mike's going to at some point probably have to address it, right?
Anytime you have 6 kids transfer,
well, but more so with Jalen saying that she didn't feel that she got the support from the coach.
Of course. Anytime
she flat out said that.
She did say that.
In her post. And I'm not going to accuse Mike of anything or the coaching staff because that's one side of the story and I don't know. But obviously, that's not, I mean, you got a local girl leaving and saying I checked myself into a psychiatric emergency hospital and I didn't feel like I was getting the support from the coaching staff. I mean, at some point, I know Mike's going to probably have to address that. And I'm not accusing him of anything or the coaching staff.
No, and when you have the Jalen Bates story and then it's 6 total players, fans are going to see that and think that absolutely something is going on.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right, 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. Coming up in a little bit, we're going to hear some comments that is being made nationally, what the Clemson coach had to say on the Jim Rome show yesterday about having to play New Mexico. New Mexico is like the #1 upset pick. If you go to the college basketball page on ESPN right now, there's Jalen House. There's his face. It's the first thing you see. They are picked as the first most likely upset in the round, even though they're favored. It would be an 11-6, right? Everybody's on New Mexico to win that game.
Yes, they are. And this is one where you can gripe about the seeding, but I think the draw is better than any of the 8-9 matchups.
I think that's right. If you were, let's just say you were 9. Would you rather get FAU, Nebraska, and go see Josiah Alec? Would you rather have TCU, or would you rather have Mississippi State? I think Mississippi State's really good, what Chris Jans has done. Utah State, I think, has got a tough draw with TCU, and then they got to play Purdue if they get through. I think Nebraska, I really like Nebraska. I again, it's hard to take 8 seeds deep because they got to run into the 1 next. And honestly, I like Northwestern better than I like FAU in that 8-9 game. But, look, man, no matter who you're playing, you're going to play somebody who's really good. And I agree with you on the draw. I do. But so America loves them. America just loves New Mexico right now. And so we'll do that coming up in a little bit. When we come back, we've not hit the NFL. We got to get here. So we're going to do a couple things in the National Football League when we get back. Dak Prescott's restructuring, whatever that really means. There was some movement overnight. Your Raiders have a running back. Chase Young, former number 2 overall, has a new home. And we have not gotten into what happened over the weekend on the Justin Fields trade. It finally happened. And I've got to get into that. I want your thoughts because we haven't talked about it yet. And I've got a lot of mine. We'll do that next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This message is brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it. You make my heart better.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, still playing a little bit of musical chairs in the National Football League's Free agency. The Raiders, you have a new running back. Of course, Josh Jacobs left for the Packers. So you went to the NFC North and got yourself Alexander Madison. No, not the musical. That's a different guy. Alexander Madison signed with the Raiders, no terms. Okay. I think they still need a running back.
It was really funny seeing the reaction online to that one.
What was it?
Vikings fans laughing at Raiders, and Raiders fans basically saying they have the worst running back in the league. So you are absolutely right. They still need.
They still need a running back, right? Yeah. Chase Young.
That is just a total, because he wasn't good in fantasy football, people think he can't play.
He wouldn't.
Okay, he's not an RB1.
No,
so he can't play in the NFL.
Yeah, no, he can. He absolutely can. And if they're expected, so to your point. JJ, if he's not there to be RB1, then there's a place for him, 100%. If it's billed as, well, now we got a running back, then they still need a running back. Can he be, because he thrived in that number 2 role?
Yeah, he was.
When he was behind Dalvin Cook, he was
good
really
in the rotation.
Yeah. So he is an NFL running back. He's just not an RB1. Yeah, I think both of those things can be true. Chase Young, former number 2 overall, free agent. They've agreed to terms with the Chiefs. I'm sorry, the Saints. The Saints. 1 year, $13 million. Dude, he signs more 1-year deals than anybody, doesn't he? Like he's going to play for a different team every year. He's an impact guy to me. He's still young. If he's healthy, I think he's a difference maker. Am I way out of my mind on this? Do I just remember first year Chase Young? Is that where I am on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Chase Young, because of the injuries, went from the next big thing to rotational defensive line.
Okay. If he stays healthy, let's see what he does. Yeah. He's going to be with the Saints. Joshua Dobbs, quarterback, 49ers now. He will back up Brock Purdy with the 49ers. And the Lions solved one of their holes on offensive line. Kevin Zeitler, the Pro Bowler, goes from Baltimore, and he'll be with the Lions. And Dak restructures his deal, and so they moved $5 million over from a roster bonus to a signing bonus, and freed up like $4 or $5 million. And when I first saw the headline, I'm like, all right, they got this done. And then I read it, and it was so nothing to me. They freed up a few bucks, right? And basically, what happened, like $4 or $5 million.
Yeah, this is one where, if you're not sold on this guy being your quarterback, all you're doing is continuing to hurt your salary cap for multiple years with
just pushing it down,
void money and dead money, as opposed to restructuring and giving yourself a smaller out.
It was, that one was okay, whatever. And then there was the Justin Fields trade over the weekend, and I don't know where you guys are on this, but it feels like the Steelers are relatively brilliant on this. And I don't know if Justin Fields or Russell Wilson are the answer. I don't know if Justin Fields and Russell Wilson is the answer. I don't know if neither Justin Fields nor Russell Wilson are the answer. But what I do know is they got 2 guys in there for the price of almost none. And they've got 2 guys who might be the answer. That they're not saying it's a competition, although I do believe it is, and I do believe by midseason Justin Fields will get his chance. They got a guy who was drafted at the top and another guy who's been to 2 Super Bowls. They're paying almost nothing for him. They gave up almost nothing. They're still sitting 10th. If they want to draft Michael Penix or something, they still can. I don't think they will. And they go into this with an opportunity with 2. They cleaned it up. As much as I'm not convinced it's the answer, it's better than what Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph gave them. They completely changed what they're doing there. And I think they have an opportunity. And you know how I feel about Russell Wilson. I would rather give Justin Fields a chance. But they got 2 guys in there that potentially one of them could be a quarterback.
They're the 20th overall pick.
Is it 20th?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were a playoff team last year. This is brilliant. You go from having limited upside at the quarterback position to larger upside with Justin Fields and someone that I think can be a better version of Kenny Pickett, of what you thought Kenny Pickett was going to be this year, all the buzz in the preseason. Hey, they're moving the football down the field. This is going to be efficient. This is going to be effective. And I think they can get that out of Russell Wilson this season. It cost them $4.5 million in a 6th-round pick. That's it.
That's it.
This year. And you look at Justin Fields, and is there things he needs to clean up? Absolutely. But it also shows that the quarterback process in the NFL, to me, is broken. Because you look at a guy in Justin Fields. He's big enough. He's fast enough. And yet you can't sit there and say, hey, let's build around this. Let's try to make this work. Like, people just wanted to throw him away. Like, it was accuracy sucks. The 2 years, his first 2 years in Chicago were an absolute disaster. And then all of a sudden, they realized, hey, we messed up with Justin Fields. So what we're going to do is make sure we don't do that with Caleb Williams. And it's like, well, yes, now you get it. And this is why I wouldn't want to give up on Justin Fields. And I think this is an amazing move for Pittsburgh to get him for nothing, bring in a guy that has all that talent, actually coach him up, work with him, and then he absolutely could go out there and take that job away from Russell Wilson.
I agree with that. I mean, where are you?
I have so many thoughts on this. First of all, the Steelers, the fact that they are paying Fields and Wilson less than the Broncos pay Jarrett Stidham is amazing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
They knocked it out of the park. Absolutely. And I will say this, actually. I found it very interesting that Tomlin felt the need to announce that he reached out to Wilson after they made this move to reassure him he's the number one. I think that's very, very telling.
Why? Because, I mean, as opposed to before, or that he had to reach out to him, period, or why?
All those things. The fact that he reached out after
Russ is fragile, and I think we know that, right?
And that's what it highlights. I mean, the fact that he knew he had to reach out to this guy to reassure him he's okay.
I wonder if it's because when he brought him in, he told him you're a guy, right? I mean, Russ claims he had options, right? No, that's what he claimed. Okay,
he makes a lot of claims.
I understand that. And if there was a conversation where Tomlin said, "Look, I believe in you, and you're my guy," and then all of a sudden, a week later, you're bringing in that guy. I mean, if I'm Russ, knowing who that guy is, I mean, stay away. Put your thumbs away. Put your thumbs away, and put away the video cameras. No, honestly.
Well, at some point in time, too, and I get it, the NFL is a business, but you just can't go around telling people. No, you can't go around telling people they're starting quarterback, and then a week later,
I agree with that too.
Bring someone else in and be like, just deal with it. Then what are you telling people?
Well, and that's why I'm wondering if that's why Tomlin felt he had to go there. Well, it was true a week ago, but then it changed. You mean you lied to me? No, I mean it's just changed.
Just keep it open.
That's right. What and that's why coaches always tell you, I never promise a guy a starting position.
Yeah. Do we even know he was promised that?
No, we don't. No. I'm assuming that. Why else do you got to call that guy?
Because he's soft.
I mean,
that's it. It's soft. And you said Fields might play in the middle of the season. I don't rule out the fact that he might start in week.
I don't rule that out either. I mean, right now, who would you, if you're a franchise and you're that franchise, who do you like better at quarterback?
You already know who I like.
I like Justin Fields better too.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I think it's easy to sit here and call people soft. Okay. And like I think because we get so numb to it's the NFL, it's shut up and play. And I'm not saying Russell Wilson is perfect, but Pittsburgh obviously made a decision that they liked him enough to blow up everything, bring him in when no one else thinks he's worth a darn. And I'm just saying that if you're Mike Tomlin, it's also not good business to go around to players. I get it, even in the NFL, big boy, put your pants on, and go around and saying, hey, we're signing you to be a starter. And if things change, then you just have that open conversation.
Yeah, if in fact you said, and we don't know.
Like a week later, go in the office and say, Russ, we didn't know Justin Fields was going to end up in Pittsburgh, but here we are.
Yep.
He's been available for weeks, but we didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know that he promised him that. I don't. Yeah. Okay, if soft's not the word, sensitive, fair?
Yeah. I just can't wait to see how his act goes over in Pittsburgh.
Who's act?
Wilson.
Oh,
that's a tough town. They're not going for that bull junk.
I mean, it's a tough act to go over in that town. In that town, more than most. There, Chicago, Cleveland. You know, it ain't Seattle and Denver, and I'm not saying Seattle and Denver are soft.
It's different, though.
Yeah. Is that fair? I mean, it is.
If he plays bad football, he's going to get shredded.
Well,
So,
I think
there
it's
you
going to
go.
work itself out in camp. I just do. I think this works itself out in camp. And so from going back to what you said, DC, from the Steelers' perspective, brilliant. If you got to go back to tell Russ, hey, man, we brought in competition.
And guess what? If he's soft and he can't handle it, and the whole world hates Russell Wilson, he can cut it. And it's not going to cost you.
And it will cost you almost nothing. 505-246-0610. That is the number to get in. Steeler fan, I know you're there. You've been chewing on this for a minute. You got to love the situation. Well, how about this? You don't have to love it. You have to like the situation. I don't think it's a great situation, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was before. I don't know that you've got a franchise quarterback for the future. I don't know that you don't, but you've got something better than you had a week and a half ago, right?
There's explosive. Like Justin Fields, like the offense, there's some explosive.
Yes. Yeah, I got Justin Fields, and a guy that I've seen glimpses of, and I saw it last year. I saw glimpses.
And it's even with Pittsburgh and their frustration with the offensive coordinator and that system, like overall, it's still a much better place to be than what Chicago was for 3 years.
I think all that's right.
And
All right,
let's remember, though, that's a playoff team. You brought it up, JJ. Their defense got them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Adding that, look out for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You think so, huh?
I really do.
In that division? So, I mean, where do you put them in that division right now? I mean, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and them.
I don't think they jump Baltimore, but I think it's Baltimore's Steelers.
So they're better than Cincinnati, better than Cleveland, who made the playoffs with Joe Flacco.
I want to see Burrow back before I make a judgment on Bengals. I want to see how he does.
It's a damn good division, man.
It is. It totally is. And that's, it's funny, too, because the Browns have an amazing defense. You can't rule them out. It's a tough.
They did until they didn't. I mean, no, seriously, they did until everybody started scoring on them. They got a lot of points back into the season now.
That playoff performance did not help, that's for sure.
All right, Steeler fan, you're there. How you feeling? Raider fan, you got a backup running? You got a running back. 505-246-0610. 8 o'clock, we'll hear from what Coach Bromwell from Clemson had to say about the Lobos on the Jim Rome show yesterday. And Matt Norlander, CBS, had some stuff to say. We'll get into Lobo basketball against Clemson. That'll be coming up at 8 o'clock. Do you wear glasses? Do you wear contacts? Are you miserable with it? Are you done dealing with the wind, especially this time of year? I want to introduce you to Dr. Stephen Coleman. Since 1998, Dr. Coleman's been working wonders for thousands of people who, like you, were tired of struggling with glasses and contacts. And I was one of those people. I had a high degree of astigmatism. It's one of the reasons I went to see him, over 20 years ago. I had LASIK. The technology he uses is cutting edge. It was developed here in New Mexico, and he played a significant role in developing, testing it, and it's used around the world. Patients come from all over the country to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision because they know Dr. Coleman's reputation and the fact that he's been in private practice specializing in LASIK his entire career. So who does this? Everybody, you and me, man. You go into his office any day, you'll see doctors and lawyers or housewives and kids and firefighters and police officers and nurses and athletes and healthcare workers, people getting ready to retire that just want to live a different lifestyle without glasses or contacts. Many, 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 many athletes. You're going to hear stories throughout the month here on the Sports Animal, mine included, of what LASIK from Dr. Coleman has done. It's changed my life for the better. Not many things change your life. Procedure's quick. Dr. Coleman will even let you watch him do it with another one of his patients, so you'll have all the confidence you need. Look at him online. It's ColemanVision.com. It's ColemanVision.com. And then call and make an appointment. He'll tell you if you're a candidate and what it'll all mean. 505-821-8880. 505-821-8880.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And I think Cabral might get hurt.
All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, coming up at 8, some stuff being said about the Lobos. Boy, they are the pick for the 11-6 round. Everybody's on New Mexico. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. 6 Lobo women opted to go into the portal on the first day. But the portal opened yesterday, including Jalen Bates, Natalia Chavez, the 2 local girls, Paula Reyes, who played a lot. And Jalen Bates has made some comments, and she told her story about how she said she had to check herself into a psychiatric emergency room. Couldn't get out of bed. And JJ, she said on her post, right, that she didn't feel she got support from the staff. And again, I'm not going to. That's one side of a story, and I'm not going to jump to conclusions on that or blame anybody. But I know a lot of you have seen that. Travis said lots of news coming out of Lobo women's basketball team with 6 declared transfers. Should we read anything into that, or just the natural state of college basketball these days? It's been a big story on social media.
That's one that, a couple of players, practice into the bench players, which makes sense. And the Jalen Bates story is one that people are going to be questioning. Yeah. Just like what happened. And I, again, will say I'm glad that she was able to get help, that it takes a lot to get to the point to put yourself out there to be a voice, to be someone that says, hey, you too can get help. And I'm just glad that she seems to be, in a better place.
No doubt. Lynn says Lady Lobo bloodbath. Jeff, the reported attendance numbers have been silly for years, but it's gotten ridiculous for Lady Lobos, and I believe a major reason is turnover. Fans don't want to familiarize with a new roster every year. You look around and see 600 to 800 in University Arena, and then the big voice guy comes on the PA system and really tries to sell it. Official attendance, 4,458. The Lady Lobos, thank you. It's only going to get worse. Lynn, Lobo men's basketball team turned over. And they put 15,411 in there, or whatever it is, because they won. This is college basketball. This is college athletics. And I agree with you that people don't want to familiarize, especially that Lady Lobo fan base. There was something to having those players there for a number of years and getting to know them and getting to love them. And it's hard on the turnover. And I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you that's kind of the way it's going to be. It is the way college athletics is. Mike's not wrong when it comes to that. That's why there's 3,000 kids in the portal by the time you're all done.
Yeah, that is not just a symptom of something that's going on at the University of New Mexico. The portal opened up yesterday, and it's already flooded with student athletes making their decision. And attendance numbers are what they are everywhere, but I can tell you, and it's not just, hey, because I'm the voice of UNM women's basketball, the other broadcasters I talk to, people around the league, this is still the best place to play.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, they all would love to be here. Yeah. James says, roster stabilization. Jeff, back in the day, I worked for a department with horrible turnover. It was bringing down the stats of the entire company. Got to be so bad that one day the honchos from the regional office in the overpriced suits flew in for a closed door with my boss. He was told the turnover ended that day or there would be consequences. About a month later, somebody quit. Soon afterwards, the honchos in different overpriced suits were back in town for another closed door, at the end of which it was announced my now former boss was no longer with the company. We would now be reporting directly to one of the honchos in the overpriced suits. Is it going to take something that extreme to stabilize Lobo basketball, the Lady Lobo roster? The next player that leaves takes Pitino or Bradbury with them. No, James. I again, look at the portal already. I know nobody wants to know. I don't know what the average. I think the average number is going to be like 3.5 to 4 players per team when it's all said and done. 6 on day one, and there may be a few more coming. Is that a lot? Is it, JJ? If 6, 7, 8 players transfer, that feels like a lot.
So right now, this is just on the women's side as of yesterday. 13 teams had 5 or more players enter the portal yesterday.
13 teams across America. Yeah. So you guys, James, I get you, and Lynn, I hear you, and it's frustrating. In how am I supposed to be a fan? I don't know who they are. Yeah. They'll tell you root for the front of the jersey, not the back. Yeah, but you fall in love with the players. Right? You know what one of the greatest parts about this Lobo team is? That, Mustafa Amsila came in and Ellie Jr. Joseph were new this year and the 2 freshmen. But House and Mashburn have been here for 3 years, and you've got to – they've been the personality, the backbone of this team, and you've fallen in love with those guys. And those are the guys that face the program, right? They might not be your best players. Denton, Toppin, arguably, you could argue – we can have a conversation. Although it's hard to argue against House. You guys, I hear you. I'm just telling you, it's not unique to your program, and I don't see it reverting. It's college athletics with the portal. 505-246-0610 when we come back. What they're saying about Lobo basketball. A lot of national buzz about the Lobos. You'll hear from Clemson's coach about his first-round opponent, New Mexico. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
NCAA tournament starts tonight. Wagner versus Howard. 4:40 is your tip time. And then out of the Mountain West Conference, Colorado State will play Virginia, scheduled for 7:10 tonight. You do get a lot of NIT tonight if you want. You can get all kinds of NIT. You can get UC Irvine and Utah, South Florida against Central Florida. You can get Minnesota and Butler. And what else I get? North Texas, LSU. Oh, yeah, you can have all of that if you want. Cornell or Ohio State. What do you watch? Will you watch Wagner, Howard, or Cornell, Ohio State?
I will watch the first 4. That will be at the top. But I think when you look at the conversation that we were discussing earlier, the NCAA tournament, how this makes a ton of sense, 6-18 field, like there's enough quality in it. I think it's good that there's some frustration. You're on the outside looking in, but that's where I do say I don't want to dismiss the NIT and make it seem like it's nothing, because to me, and women's basketball has made this shift, which I appreciate. They're saying, hey, if you're one of the top 100 teams out of 360, however many, good on you. And you have the NCAA tournament, everyone's going to be hyper focused on NIT, which is super specific to those schools, which I think is fine, because I think that can still be a positive for those teams and programs. Like, I'm good with that. You have your NCAA tournament and then your next best 32. And if you're not one of the top 100 teams in men's or women's college basketball, so be it.
Well, I will contend that the NCAA tournament, the March Madness it starts in conference tournaments. Everybody's got a shot. Keep winning, you keep getting in. And I don't think we need to expand this thing. If you want to add it, 4 more playing games, have one in each region or whatever, fine. I guess I can live with that. And that's 8 more teams, and it's up to 76, and it adds 8 more spots. And I don't love it. I think it's perfect right now, but it is what it is. Lobos get Clemson. Lobos are everybody's favorite 11. Everybody. What's the other 11? The 11 I like is Oregon. I love Oregon. But if you go to ESPN's college basketball page, there's Jalen House right there screaming. There's his face. They're the number 1 pick for an upset on ESPN's page. Upset, they're favorites. I know, but they're the 11 seed playing a 6. You go to CBS Sports, they're Cinderellas. Their pick in the West is New Mexico. Everybody's talking about it. Yesterday, Jim Rome had Brad Brownell, the head coach of Clemson, the Lobos' first-round opponent. This is from the Jim Rome show yesterday. Rome talking to Brownell about this first-round matchup between New Mexico and Clemson.
So, Brad, I know you're into your preparations for New Mexico. Now that you know who you're going to play, I would imagine it's pretty obvious they've got quality guard play. They've got some good veteran leadership. What else do you know about them, and what are your early thoughts on that matchup?
Well, Richard does a really good job. I coached against him when he was at Minnesota in the Big Ten Challenge, and he's really good offensive coach. They spread the floor. They run really good pick-and-roll stuff. Obviously, their guards, Dent, House, and Mashburn are all elite, and they can all beat you one-on-one off the bounce. They can beat you in the pick-and-roll. They play very fast. And I think their big guys are underrated. Toppin and Nelly Joseph are both guys that finish around the basket area. They're great rebounders. They attack the basket. The dangerous thing is they're playing their best basketball right now. They won 4 in a row there, and so they're riding a really good high. And they're just a talented older group. So Richard's been through this a lot. He knows what this is all about. His team will be ready to go. We're going to have to play really well to win.
That's courtesy of the Jim Rome show that you hear here on the Sports Channel every day. Certainly complimentary from the coach. Look, every coach tells you how good the opponent is. I don't care if you're playing New Mexico or New Mexico Tech. He'd have told you how good they are and how veteran they are and how great their coach is. Have you ever heard a coach say the other team's not well coached? Ever? Once? Ever? Of course you haven't.
Not publicly.
That's fair enough. What do you think of what Brad Brownell said?
Stock answer.
Yeah, fair. I thought so too. Yeah, I watched the tape and I got my notes in front of them, and they're 3 guards, House, Mashburn, and Dent are elite, and the other big guy, where is it? Nelly Joseph is. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was complimentary. I was stock, but I promise you,
it's great to hear on a national platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing when you get the NCAA tournament. Your coaches are on. They're talking about it. People are listening, and battle in this game, man. It's great. It's right there in that front court.
I wonder about who's watching what, right? And it was really interesting to see the network's coverage of the brackets. ESPN does not, and full disclosure, I work for ESPN. I'm an ESPN employee for Isleta New Mexico Bowl. That's for whom I am employed. But ESPN does not air Mountain West game. They don't have that package. CBS and Fox do. And I'm not telling you this is why any thing was slanted. I think ESPN, amongst the guys who know, if you listen to some of the guys on there, they understand what New Mexico and the Mountain West is. But overall, I think the message, JJ, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, the message on CBS's coverage, and I watched a lot of it, was the Mountain West got no love. They got to go out and prove it. They were underseeded. Where I think on ESPN, there was like, well, yeah, they love the big boys, right?
Yeah, and that goes to the point of just watching some of the games.
That's where I'm going with this. Yeah.
And the one thing that to me is different is ESPN does a lot of college basketball, but they don't have a lot of dedicated shows to college basketball. So you're getting a lot of baseline analysis just from their big names. You know, Jay Williams, Jay Billis, whereas CBS Sports invests a lot more in overall college basketball.
Yeah, I think that's more shows, more. Okay. Matt Norlander is one of those CBS guys, and they've got Rothstein and Matt Norlander and Wally Zerbiak, and they got a lot of dudes at CBS. This was on Rome as well. He was on Rome yesterday. Matt Norlander, one of CBS's experts, talked about New Mexico.
The Mountain West sent 6 teams, and the seedings are just unreal. The fact that you've got Boise State and Colorado State both being shipped to Dayton when no one in the world had that happening before the brackets came out is vexing to me. James Madison, as a 31-win team, as a 12 seed, Wisconsin is getting no favors whatsoever. Utah State as an 8. It won the league, won 27 games in a conference that had 6 teams in the tournament there. I don't get that at all. So those are the ones that kind of pop out to me. Oh, and by the way, New Mexico wins the auto bid. The wagon right now. It needed to win the conference tournament. We found out, the committee chair told me on CBS Sports HQ on Sunday night, that had they not won the auto bid, Lobos wouldn't have even been in the field. They're at 11. Jim, that's like an 8 at worst right now. Like, I'm seriously considering putting them into the Sweet 16. They're that good.
Matt Norlander from CBS on Rome. Are you getting nervous with all the love the Lobos are getting?
You will. It's fan mode doesn't want it. So this is the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Is fans are mad if you don't talk about their team.
No doubt.
But then they get nervous if everyone's picking their team.
Right.
Like, no one gives us any love. Oh, everyone picks us. Oh, why would you do that? We're jinxed now.
There's no winning on it. Another team that's getting a lot of love, by the way, is UAB, who's gets San Diego State in the first round. I'm a little nervous about that. I think it's a tough matchup for the Aztecs. What?
I got the Aztecs beating UAB.
Yeah.
But Auburn will be too much.
Look, I think Auburn may be too much, and I'm the only one probably who thinks this. Maybe a team that can handle UConn. I mean,
that's my only.
Everybody's on UConn.
Yes.
Everybody. I mean, that's why we got to go somewhere else. And I look down the bracket, and I'm like, where do I see UConn can get beat? I think
Sweet
Auburn.
16?
Well, by Auburn. Yeah. Because I think they're better than Iowa State or Illinois or whatever would come out of the bottom of that bracket. Drake. If there's a stumbling block on the way, I think it's Auburn. Dude, have you watched Auburn? They are so athletic and so long and so deep, and they just keep coming at you. Bruce Pearl's a good coach. They play defense. I loved Mississippi State, and then I watched Mississippi State play Auburn, and I'm like, oh.
I'm still on Mississippi State.
I am too. I like their draw. Now they run into Carolina in the second round. I think they can beat Carolina. Yeah, I'm with you.
That's a 1 seed. You have to find ways in the bracket to talk them down. I'm like, they're my least favorite 1 seed.
Well, Clemson, this team the Lobos are playing, beat North Carolina. I mean, they beat them in the Dean Dome. Like everybody but Connecticut.
That's the one thing with Clemson.
Yeah,
is I know we'll keep diving into it. Their ceiling,
it's huge.
Is crazy.
I know, and they struggled at times, and their lack of consistency is what has them where they are. But this is a team that went into Chapel Hill and beat Carolina, who's the number 1 seed. All right, Kenny's going to be here. We'll kick it with Kenny at time do we do that? 9 o'clock? Is this Tuesday? We're going to have a really good sweet deal. Actually, this is a sweet deal that you want to stick around for. I know you always do anyway, but this one's kind of special. So we'll do that here in the next segment. I want to continue the conversation on the Cinderellas. Who do you like? Is there? Are you on everybody? Everybody's got. I got McNeese State. Jeff, I got James Madison. Sanford's going to run by Kansas. All right, who do you like and why? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And I think Cabral might get hurt. Oh,
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Bring it back.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Payment to a team that has their house completely paid off and a ton of extra equity in it. So if they don't get what they want out of a quarterback this year, they've got enough equity to where they'll trade up and get one in the draft next year. So that they are in a no-lose situation with the deal that they made. Second, on Lobo basketball, I've been everywhere on this spectrum. I've been, we're the Cinderella. They devalued us, so they disrespected us, and then we go out and, lay an egg, or with the Alford team that lost to Harvard, which I was at that game, and nothing more annoying than sitting in the Harvard section with everybody going, "Let's go Harvard," thinking that we're going to win, and then we get bounced, So at this point, I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game. Our team's on a roll. I do believe the Mountain West was disrespected a little bit, but at this point, it's not buying into Cinderella. It's not buying into, we should have been higher, or, we should have been lower in the seating. I just want to play the game because our team is hot and I want to win some games.
Fair. Yeah, totally fair. You get to do it on Friday at 1:10. Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, man. I hadn't thought about the Harvard thing in a day or two.
Harvard.
With Laurent Rivard. You don't remember that. So Lobos were a 3 seed. And set up, this was going to be their magical run. And this was one of the, this was Alford's last team, right? Because he resigned like a week later. And this was that Kendall Williams, Alex Kirk, Tony Snell team. They're really good. And it was a 4-13 game in Salt Lake City. And there was a guy named Laurent Rivard who was just sitting out in that right corner dropping threes. And for some reason, JJ, do you remember? Cam Bairstow was the guy chasing him around. And they just couldn't shut him down, and you kept waiting for it to turn, and you realize, holy bleep, you're the 3 that just got beat by the 14. That's a horrible feeling. I mean, it's
5 of 9 from 3.
Is that what he was?
17 points.
Laurent
it feels like the dude
Rivard.
scored 40.
Yeah.
They were just 8 of 18 from 3 in that game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
it feels
like they were 22 of 22. Yeah.
It feels so much different when you think back on that game.
Yeah. And so afterwards, and I know so many Lobo fans who were in Salt Lake for that, and the depression that they went through. And it was right after that where Paul Krebs, the athletic director at the time, announced that they had an agreement for an extension for $1.2 million with Alford. And days later, it was a Saturday. My phone, I remember I was at a piano lesson back in the day when my daughter took piano lessons on Saturday morning, and my phone started blowing up, and Steve Alford was going to UCLA, and I'm like, what? And sure as nothing, it was. Went down to that press conference, and DC, JJ and I came in here on a Saturday afternoon. So I think the press conference was at 11. We just came in here afterwards at noonish and randomly opened up the microphones and went on the air. And the phones were packed for 3.5 hours until it was like, dude, I got to go. Seriously, there was something, people lost their ever-loving minds. Remember that day?
I do
we
remember
can
that
still
day.
be on the air. We
Just from that.
seriously, like we one after another, 4 packed lines for hours on a Saturday when we didn't even announce we were going to be on the air. We just came on the air, and everybody found us. It was like everybody just came here and lost their minds. It was one of the most surreal days of my career.
I can imagine that. I was at a radio station in Denver, and when Vic Fangio got fired, it was the same thing, that everyone just sort of showed up on a Saturday. But this seems so much larger, just given the impact they have on the state. I can imagine what that was like, because I bet the phones were lit up all morning.
Oh, dude, it was insane. And literally, I remember we were at the pit mid-ramp. They had the press conference, and we said, well, let's go back and just take some calls. We'll go on. We got to go on the air and do something. And we were at 3.5, and it was fine. You might have even finished the show. I had to go. I had something with my daughter, whatever it was. I mean, this is 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But holy smokes! All right, this is now. I got a sweet deal for you. This is one of your favorites.
Let's go, baby.
What's up, David? How you living?
Yo! What's cracking, rocking?
It's Jersey Mike's Day, and it is your sweet deal. And this is one of your favorites. Go on at 9:00 right on our website, sportsanimalaBQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. You get $50 worth of Jersey Mike's for just $25. And it is the month of giving. How you living?
It is the month of giving. Feeling blessed.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is my favorite time of year. It's kind of like Christmas for us.
I think you smell like the sandwich guy.
Yeah, let's go.
Did you smell that?
Yeah, that's life-changing substance on me.
Chicks dig it, don't they?
Yeah. They're like, I smell. Do you smell something? Yes.
Baby,
the smell
you
of
smell
success,
good.
baby.
Ooh, you smell
That's
like,
what that is.
You smell like the spicy Italian.
So the month of giving, yeah. Super excited. This is like our Christmas time, because obviously we make a really big impact. We're partnered up with Make-A-Wish throughout the whole month. We're just collecting donations, trying to make a difference, and, being able to be a part of a great company like Make-A-Wish. And so the 27th of this month, the entire 100% of our proceeds are going to be going to Make-A-Wish. And I know a few people have been talking to us about, what do we got to do to get Danny DeVito out here, right? New Mexico, get him to try some green chili Phillies, green chili Italians. The only way we could do this is with New Mexico's help. Let's really blow this day of giving up. Let's blow this month. Let's blow this month of giving up and really, really get him to come out here to one of our stores, guys.
So it's next Wednesday is your day of giving.
The 27th, yeah.
Which is Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. During that day, all sales will be donated to Make-A-Wish New Mexico. And I know there's competition between all your regions, right?
Yeah. A friendly competition, but, as small as we are, New Mexico has always reigned king when it comes to that. There's a lot of people that show support and love, which is so awesome.
10 New Mexico locations, just opened one up down on Coors and Rio Bravo.
Yes, sir.
How's that one doing?
Yeah. South Valley, thank you for all the love. It's doing really, really good. Thank you.
All right, what's the best sandwich right now?
Oh, man. You name it, we got it. I mean, everything with the red box up there is a life-changing sub, but you can never go wrong with that original Italian. The meat lover sub.
Which one's yours?
Usually turkey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, it's right there for you. It's going to be on our website, sportsanimalaBQ.com. Click on the sweet deal icon. I would go at 9 because at 9:04 they're not going to be there anymore.
They're gone.
They're gone. And then do not forget, and you do yourself a favor and do them a favor. Mark down on your calendar now. Lunch next Wednesday. Where are you going? You're going to Jersey Mike's. Like, you go on a regular basis, but next Wednesday, make a point. Jersey Mike's on the 20th. All sales that day donated to Make-A-Wish New Mexico. It's the month of giving, and round up your order to the next $1 during the month. Make a donation at any Jersey Mike's here in New Mexico. Appreciate what you're doing, man.
Thank you, guys.
Keep doing it. Appreciate it. And take part in the sweet deal today.
Yes, sir.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We're all moving a little fast. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. folks, would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
They know what they're doing.
Is it life-changing?
My life has been changed in the last 5 minutes because of this.
More so than LASIK? I mean, I'm going with LASIK. I mean, sub's nice, no? But that's just me.
If I get LASIK, though, I'm still hungry. And that's the problem.
Yeah, but you can see your food.
Seeing the food does not fill my belly the same way as eating the food does.
Well, then have a sandwich, but then you're going to want to eat again later. And meanwhile, I got LASIK, and I don't want glasses anymore. Whatever works for you.
They knock it out of the park, though. Yeah, Jersey Mike's, that thing's going to last like 5 minutes. So log on, make sure to get your coupon.
Yeah. Dan said last week we heard the Jimmer song. After the Harvard game, there was there ever a Laurent Rivard song? Yeah. Juan Jose and Dimitri Cross. No, I don't believe there was. I don't believe there was an I Love You Laurent song. But it was unbelievable. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. Kenny Thomas is going to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock, and we will kick it with Kenny. The Big East has come out, and they're not very happy. They put out a statement. The fact that the Big East just got 3 bids, lowest total in the Big East since 1993. The league released a long statement last night, congratulating its 3 schools, UConn, Marquette, Creighton, and they were beating up on the selection committee. Quote, this is part of the statement for the Big East. We have great respect for the NCAA men's basketball committee and the time and effort that goes into selecting and seeding the teams for the NCAA tournament. Very challenging job, and we have been advised that this year's upsets added to the complexity and contributed to the committee's final bracket selections. Given the high level of play in our league, we are understandably very disappointed that some worthy Big East teams were not selected to participate. We will be working closely with our schools in the coming months to best position the Big East next year and to ensure that we continue to be represented in March Madness in a manner befitting of our stature as one of the best conferences in college basketball, end quote. Stop. Okay, I'm going to go back to this again. The entitlement of some of these, Commissioner Sankey of the SEC is the same way. This isn't just because your reputation is, and I'm not telling you the Big East wasn't good. St. John's was good. They could have made noise in this thing. I don't think Villanova should have been in. I'll give you Seton Hall for consideration. I hear you. And they're upset and they're cranky. But for crying out loud, we are one of the best, so we should have more in is not an argument. It is lame, it is lazy, and it is entitled. And this whole SEC thing talking about how we need to expand so we can get more of our teams in there. The Big East talking about how we are one of the elite conferences. How can we only have 3? Like, dude, this is a fluid thing every year. And it looks different every year. And this is kind of, it reminds me of this college football playoff where the 2 dominant leagues now, the Big Ten and the SEC, well, we want guaranteed 3 and we want guaranteed bye. I mean, should we just guarantee the SEC and the Big East and the Big Ten 6 teams every year and move on? Because
they've already.
That's but that's what we're. That's what they're asking
they've done
for.
that in football.
That's what they're asking for here. This whole, with all due respect.
Do you see the Big Ten and SEC are getting 58% of the CFP
of the
revenue?
CFP revenue? Yeah.
See ya.
And they had no choice, the other leagues, but to do it because what else were they going to do? They had no choice. But I mean, when you hear this, and look, you got to go to bat for your schools, and you got to defend your schools, and you're the commissioner, and fine. But this whole, given the high level of play in our league, blah, 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 we are worthy. Stop. The entitlement, you had 3 in this year, man. Other leagues had really good years. Stuff happened. Sankey with the SEC, well, we deserve more teams in. Would they get 7, 8 in the SEC? I can't eat it anymore, man.
It's playing the national narrative game.
Yes.
It's what you got to do. It's the whole hashtag 6 Bid Mountain West. And why on the scrolling billboard at the Thomas and Mack, it was like Mountain West versus Pac-12 West Coast Conference. Hashtag 6-bid Mountain West. We're playing the game.
But for the Mountain West, it's a marketing thing, and it's their best year ever. And they're hoping that they can parlay that into being better perennially.
But it's also the reality of it. It's human beings that can be swayed. 10 dudes in a room. Or 10 people in a room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. I don't know. The national narrative, they don't know that there can be something good that they don't know about.
But that's also the frustrating thing.
Yeah.
That's where it's going. The Big Ten and SEC
No doubt.
control college athletics.
Okay, so we have a caller. Edward calls our show, and if it's not Big Ten or SEC, he doesn't care. If it's not NFL, I don't care. Okay? Do you think that's where the majority of America is? The majority of America did not go to one of those schools in the SEC or the Big Ten. They didn't. As much as the world wants to tell you that the majority of America went to Michigan or Alabama or whatever, they didn't. Okay? There's alumni, there's communities elsewhere that, yeah, I want to watch Alabama, Ohio State too. I do. I love watching Auburn play Ole Miss. It's cool. But I also like watching other stuff. And what they're trying to do is just tell me that's all that matters, because it's all that matters to the networks. And that's all they watch. And so if that's all you see, that's all you know, that's all that can be good. And I can't eat it anymore, man. I watch a lot of good basketball outside of these quote unquote power leagues this year.
And this is what worries me the most.
Yeah.
Football's done. Like, football's shifted. Like, the Big Ten and SEC, they are calling the shot.
Yep.
For college football. And with that, that's all people want to see. That is true. In college football, they want those leagues and those games.
Okay.
But the trickle-down effect is what you're discussing. It's the SEC and Big Ten now saying, well, we deserve a bigger share of basketball.
Yes.
And controlling that. And their decisions with football, the trickle-down effect is it's going to destroy everything.
I think that's right. I think
I
you're
am
right.
so not excited for the future of college athletics. Right now, it's disheartening.
Which in this market, which is a college athletics market, is, and I feel you. But I read this, and what do I read? We are elite, and we deserve. Well, you know what? Other people deserve too, man. Then why do we play? I really feel at times, you know what? When the season starts in football, why don't you just seed them now and play the college football playoff now? Why do I have to play a New Mexico versus Colorado State game? Why are they playing? Hell, for that matter, why am I playing Washington State versus Baylor? Just put Alabama and Michigan and USC and Tennessee and Clemson and go ahead and seed it now and just play it now. Play the playoff. You think I'm way off base?
No, it feels that way. It feels that way. It does.
I got 2 leagues that are guaranteed 6 of 14 spots. I mean, what? What am I doing? And then you're telling me, oh, but there's 136 FBS teams. They all have a real shot. Do they? Do they? New Mexico State's got a real shot at Alabama. Well, they beat Auburn, Jeff. All right, that's a bad example if you want. Western Kentucky's got a real shot. Nevada does in football. It's hard, man. And then they're not even trying to be discreet about it. They're just out there telling you, no, we're elite. We deserve this, and we're going to change the rules because those little guys got way too many chances. And somehow they played themselves into being relevant, and we can't have that. They're not us. They don't belong at our table. Go back and sit at the little boy table. Here's your little bid. I can't, man. It's making my stomach hurt. If I'm sitting at that table by myself, that's fine. But I know I'm not. I know I'm not. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm off my soapbox. Should I go get something to eat?
Yes.
You think it'll make me feel better?
You getting hangry over there?
Yeah, Jersey Mike make me feel better. make you feel better? Getting into a vehicle that's just been serviced by On the Spot Automotive Detailing. On the Spot Automotive Detailing details my vehicle, where it works for me and when it works for me, and they can do it for you as well. What does that mean? They'll come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, and they detail your vehicle. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats. Like, remember when it was brand new? Remember when you first got it? That's the feel and the look and the smell. Keep your car protected. They got a ceramic coating, paint protection film. It works like magic. Keeps the mud, the dirt, and the water stains away. The protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation, which damages your car's paint. Awarded Best in the City because they know what it takes to keep your car in its best condition. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can book and buy online at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And I think Cabral might get hurt.
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
But they've been in this situation before, and they still somehow, some way got 6 teams. Because it's supposed to be a year-to-year.
Yeah, I don't think it affects next year necessarily, although, ma'am, JC, I'm not sure, because sitting here, the subjective part of it was how you seeded teams and the fact that this is the last team in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I didn't see, I don't believe.
So if they lose, then it shouldn't be a negative, right? You're the last team in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I mean, I don't know how it's nice lenses you've got. I want those rose-colored lenses.
Well, and I'm a little naive with this, but that's why I think the selection committee should have different people on it than just ADs that have daily tasks to do all the time and can't focus on basketball, and then they sit in a room for 5 days, build a bracket by Friday, and then never adjust on it. I don't think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, and they would tell you that's not it, but yeah.
It's exactly what happens.
I know.
Because this is supposed to be year to year. Like nothing that happened 2 years ago should matter right now.
Look, aside from San Diego State, the Mountain West has had no success in the tournament. They haven't.
I mean, that should have zero bearing if you get a team in or not.
And I think that proved that they got 6 teams in. So I think you're right. Tax line, isn't it so like the Big East to come out with a statement about how they're the victims? They sound like entitled babies, Jeffrey. A little bit, yeah. This is on the first 4. Bourne says several years back, the NMAA quit considering the first round as part of the state tournament, started calling it the pre-playoffs. It was such an outrage because everyone today needs to get a ribbon. After a few years, the first round was once again designated as part of the state tournament. In my opinion, these first 4 games today and tomorrow are not part of the tournament. Okay, that's your opinion. Officially, they are. I mean, it could be your opinion all you want. You get a share for it. You're in the NCAA tournament. You're on an NCAA floor. It is. I mean, whether it's your opinion, it is. I don't know how else to address that.
I got a question about the play-in.
Or the first 4?
First 4.
Yeah.
Last week, when we were looking at the brackets, they had those slotted at 11.
Yeah.
But now it moved to 10. Was there a purpose for that? Or?
Yeah, because the 4, what they're saying, bids teams, all 4 11s, New Mexico, Oregon, UAB, and James Madison, they had slotted below these at-large teams, right, who were playing in the play-ins or the first 4. They had on their chart, evidently, Boise State, Colorado, Virginia, and Colorado State, all seeded better than those automatic qualifiers. And so they moved it up a little. Yeah, and I don't think it does favors to the teams who are going to have to get the teams that come out of Dayton, right? For instance, Texas is going to get Colorado State or Virginia. Would they rather have had New Mexico or Oregon? I mean, I don't. To me, it's all the same, honestly. You know, Dayton gets Nevada. Would they rather have New Mexico or Oregon? I think the teams, when you start playing the 9, 10, 11, 12 lines, I think those teams are so close. Like JJ, if I said to you, here's a 9. Let me give you the 9 lines. If I said Northwestern, Texas A&M, TCU, and Michigan State, and the 12 lines, and they're not going to be the big names, but it's James Madison and McNeese and Grand Canyon and UAB. Wow, you know that the 9 lines better, but do you think there's a huge difference between 9 and 12?
9 and 12?
Yeah.
Not really.
I don't either.
The only outlier really is UAB in some of the metrics.
Boy, they're pretty good, huh?
No, in terms of their rating versus the others, like they're a really good offensive team. They're about 100 in Ken Palm.
They scare. I'm not
because you're a fan of the Aztecs.
Well, I want the Mountain West to do well.
And the fans are always going to be nervous about a matchup.
Are you buying into McNeese as much as everybody else is? I was going to love Gonzaga going in, and I don't know that I love their matchup with McNeese. Because I think if Gonzaga wins, they can get to the Sweet 16. Hell, they can get to the Elite 8.
Yeah, because I am not on Kansas. I think that's a broken basketball team.
I agree with you.
McNeese, I would I like the story.
Yep.
They've won 30 games, but that is one team. You look at their non-conference schedule.
Yep.
And
you're like, wait, what?
Like, there's not even that one game where you look and say that, they had their moment. And so that's kind of my concerning thing is I don't really have
there's no barometer
point to go with McNeese and say, this is who they can be. So this is the team that can go on a run.
Yeah, there's nothing to gauge it on. I mean, there's literally nothing to gauge it on. What are you looking for?
I'm going to tell you one of the teams I'm McNeese scared.
Yeah.
Everything is freezing up on me, so please move on to your next.
What league are they in?
Champs of...
Here they are. No, that's not them. I literally can't find them. I should know this, too. Are they in the Southern?
Southland.
Yeah, the Southland Conference. All right, so they were 17-1. They played VCU.
They played
Bible
Mississippi
Studies.
University for women.
You're not lying. At least they beat them 92-23.
I'm going to ask a dumb question.
No, it's a totally fair question. It's a totally
exactly.
They actually played a game against a women's team?
There's got to be men at this women's college, right?
Yes. But you pull that up and tell me you don't go, wait, what?
All right, the box score of that game, University for Mississippi, and you're all going, how do I get into that school now?
I want to go play basketball.
Darian Doss. Okay, that's a dude, right? Like C. Smith. Cam Smith is a dude. Okay, so they have men, but they played the Mississippi University for women, beat them 92-23.
Only one player in that game.
It was 47-9 at halftime.
Hit more than one field for Mississippi University for women.
They played Bible Studies, Champ Christian, Litorno. I mean, all right, dude. I'm sorry. I'm on Gonzaga.
I know. I'm kind of like
I mean, with all due respect.
Will Wade definitely.
I mean, Will Wade
pumped up that record.
Boy, Will Wade. He's a hell of a coach, but Kenny Thomas is due next. Ask him if you ever played the Mississippi College for women. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro Beef. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Man, does that sound like Kenny? Man, everybody's picking the Lobos right. Everywhere I look, CBS Sports, all four dudes explain to me why the Lobos are going to beat Clemson. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and we're kicking it with Kenny. JJ just set up the studio, got Kenny's mic all ready, got everything ready to go, and then phone, there he is on the phone line. Joining us via the inventive genius of Mr. Alexander Graham Bell, Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, and just all-around legend who was fighting on TV about who's the greatest Lobo teams with Van Tate and Chad Adams. Just compelling stuff the other day. What's up?
You like that? What do you mean I'm fighting? I don't have to fight. I'm not fighting with anything.
You just held up your four fingers.
They all know who's the man and who is the man for 4 years. So give me a break.
Yeah, who was that? Was you, right? That was you,
JJ. Right? JJ, get this guy, JJ.
Oh goodness,
he
knows what's up.
And there was food here for you today too. Jersey Mike's even brought food. They heard Kenny Thomas was coming. There was even food.
I'm still out of town, man. I'm in California. Yeah. I had to come check on the house, man.
Somebody's got to check on your house.
My neighbors are good. They got me, but still, I got to come check on the house.
Get everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great, man.
Right. How do you like this matchup, Lobos and Clemson?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. I like how you said that you heard four guys pick the Lobos, right? Like I saw that as well. A little disappointed because they're 11 seeds, but once again, I really don't care. If they're going to go in and make some noise, they're going to have to go through adversity. It doesn't matter if they're long or whatever it may be. But the way that they're playing right now is unreal. Just saying. It's unreal.
I don't know how much higher they're going to get seeded. I think the big surprise is finding out they weren't getting in if they didn't win the championship. If they didn't win on Saturday, they weren't getting in. And I know when I was in Vegas all week, Lobo fans were like, we're in, we beat Boise State. And I'm like, win another game and get in. We're in, we beat Colorado State. And I'm like, watching everything that's going on around the country, I'd sure feel better winning again and cutting down the nets. I'm sure glad they cut down those nets.
Yeah, because they punched their ticket with winning the tournament, obviously, right? So they their destiny was in their own hands, and the way that they've been playing, I was saying it, like right after the Air Force game, I'm like, they might as well just go ahead and win the whole thing. But that's crazy because I have to agree with you. After 2 back-to-back quad wins, Boise State and Colorado State, it seemed like it would have been more appealing, I guess, because they did beat 2 quad 1 teams, but were they really quad 1 teams, right? That selection committee is out of control. But I totally agree with you. With them being an 11 seed, if they didn't win it, who knows?
Kenny Thomas.
Gotten in, to be honest.
He is Kenny Thomas. Who's kicking it with Kenny here on These Sports Animal.
No, Kenny, what did you see out of this team to go through those 4 days, only trail like 7.5 minutes the entire tournament, and then on the biggest day, Saturday afternoon, they go to that game, and Donovan didn't stick, man. He only plays 12 minutes, and they still come out with the victory. What did you see from this team?
House, man. He willed them to a win. And then you didn't even have JT getting the ball in the post when JT was rebounding like he does, right? He think he had about 6 or 8 points down the stretch, and they were off of offensive rebound. And the way that they came out and they stayed poised, because San Diego State's a good team. That Aztecs team is good. They're a 5 seed. Now explain that to me. I know you might be happy, Jeff, even though you're going for the Lobos. You got some Aztec in you.
Here's the explanation, and I don't know that I'm happy, and I don't love their matchup against UAB, and certainly having to get Auburn. But I think it's a body of work. I think they looked at it now. What does body of work mean? Because you're going to say New Mexico beat them twice, beat them in a championship. I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
One was 5th, one was 6th. I don't understand it either. I had a conversation with this guy named Kevin Sweeney in Vegas after the Friday game. Kevin Sweeney is the bracketologist for Sports Illustrated. And I was having the conversation about Colorado State, New Mexico. Why is Colorado State considered a lock to get in and New Mexico's not? And they beat Creighton and they beat Washington and whatever. Yeah, but New Mexico beat them twice in league play, finished ahead of them in league play, or beat them twice out of 3 times and just knocked them out of the tournament. Is going to play for a championship. I honestly, and I think you got coaches everywhere, from Rick Pitino to Richard Pitino to the guys who got the play-in games, the guys who got left out. Everybody's sitting around scratching their head. They don't know what you have to do anymore to get into this tournament.
Yeah, maybe they need to give a list of little bullet points of the criteria, right?
And stick to them.
It seems like it's shifting and it's getting harder and harder. But do you really think? I'm gonna ask you guys. You guys don't think their schedule overall with their non-conference games didn't hurt them?
New Mexico?
Yeah,
100% it did. No, it's inarguable. Okay. It's inarguable, and the committee made that very clear that their non-conference schedule hurt them.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I get it. You got St. Mary's, right? Like, I get it, but they got to go on the road and take some chances, right? Like, who's going to come to New Mexico? They don't have to. But now they might because they're actually winning. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But the way that Pitino even has the bench playing has been amazing. And Jeff, I got to tell you, thank you, man. Yes, I was having fun after the radio show the other night. We were on for like an hour and a half, and we still could have kept going strong.
I heard that he's Kenny Thomas, and he does Lobo Live over on News Radio KKOB after all the Lobo men's basketball games, the call-in show, and really been taken off. And boy, I listened the other day afterwards, and there were a lot of happy Lobos. How do you turn the corner now, man? The emotional high from everything. They looked exhausted when they got off the plane. It's like, as happy as they were to see all those fans there, they probably would have just rather just put their hoodies on and got into a car and go home, right? And they had to smile and take all those pictures and sign autographs, which is great. I mean, that's a first world problem right there. How do you go from that high to, all right, it's business, we're not done yet, we got work to do?
What's today, Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
I would think that it's my show. Yeah, it's Tuesday. And thank you, Jeff and JJ, for allowing me to be on your show.
Yeah.
But Today's Tuesday. They don't play till Friday. I would have gave them Sunday, Monday off. But that's just me. And then I think now they start cranking it up. Have a couple good practices, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Get on the road Thursday or whenever they're going to leave.
Yeah, I think they leave tomorrow.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be light and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But they play at 12 o'clock on Friday. 12, I think, Pacific time on Friday.
Yeah, 1:10 here.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's 12:10 Pacific time. So, I feel, man, they're young, to be honest. I'm sorry, but they are. So that bounce back type of situation, I don't think they'll have a problem with it because, hey, if you don't go out and leave it all out there, you're going to be done. I feel like the Lobos, yes, I'm about to say this. I feel that the Lobos are going to be Clemson. And I feel like if they end up playing Baylor next, they're going to beat Baylor. And Baylor's a 3 seed, I think. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see if the Lobos can actually get to the Sweet 16 for the first time. What do you guys think?
Well, I know, JJ, you like.
I think that. So here's the thing with the quote unquote underseeding for the Mountain West Conference. I'm happy that when you look at it, that they're not an 8-9, and you don't have to play UConn or North Carolina or Houston or Purdue in the second round. I think Clemson and Baylor are teams that play slow, efficient basketball, and New Mexico can match that style. And I like the draw for the Lobos.
I think Clemson is only shooting, aren't they shooting 23%, 25% for threes or something like that? I think I saw that the other day. They're not a great shooting basketball team.
They are 3-point percentage, 35%.
I was way off.
Yeah, 35.4%.
Well, the Lobos are around that, aren't they?
Yep.
Probably a little lower.
Yep, a little lower than that. They they're they shoot overall 47% from the field. I mean they're good. They're athletic. They're not great. They've had their lows. This is a team that went into Chapel Hill and beat North Carolina in Chapel Hill. By the same token, they've had losses that you look at and just go, huh? You know. So who are you gonna get?
Yeah, that's the unique thing about it, right? I do get a little leery when people are longer than us, right? Like when you think about UNLV and some of those other teams that gave the Lobos a hard time with length. But I feel like if they can limit getting into the paint so deep to where they're knocking down mid-range shots, I think this is where Mash and House are going to succeed very well.
All right, we'll come back. I want your thoughts on the rest of the league, where they were seated, the tournament, wrap up the tournament a little bit. And was House's performance as good as there ever has been by a Lobo in a conference tournament? I want you to think that one through because I know that goes back. No. Who's better?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, to win a championship, to cut down nets, he was. I mean, it was pretty good. I want to talk to you about that when we come back. It's the opening drive. Kenny Thomas is with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And I think Cabral might get
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look!
To find a better performance, over the course of a conference tournament than what House did this week.
Oh, bro, I'm right there with you. I can't even deny that, right? I was just trying to be funny about trying to bring up my NCT crap, right?
No, I know.
But
I know.
The way that he is playing right now, he started from the Air Force game, right? I think what did he average? About 26?
I don't even know what he
Something
averaged
like
during the game. I'll get that for you.
Yeah, but the energy and the passion, right? You want to try and contain him a little bit, but you got to let him run wild. Obviously, Patino knows what he has with him, but you got to think about Mashburn. He didn't even play that good. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays in the tournament against Clemson. I'm a big Mashburn fan. I just am. And I feel like he's about to blow up and have a great game on Friday, if not Sunday.
I love Mash too, and I was so happy for him. Now, look, they needed it. They flat out needed it, but I was so happy for him that he had the game he had on Saturday. And Richard Pitino was on with us yesterday, and he said that Mash came to all the coaches on Saturday morning, the championship game, apologized. He said, my body language wasn't okay. I'm better than that. He basically apologized to the coaches, and he said he didn't have to do that. And it's just who he is. And then he came out and played like he did. No, you and I are big on Mash. I thought it was big. Is he out of a slump? Can you shoot your way out of a slump that quickly?
Think about it. Everybody was thinking that Eddie, Jesus Christ, my bad. I keep calling him Eddie House. His dad's been with them all over the place for the last week. Jaden, you got to think about it. The way that things have been gelling, I feel like it's just been really unreal, right? And I feel like the timing is right. And the way that they're playing some unbelievable basketball, I expect the bench to come in and give them a couple minutes too, right?
Yes.
But I feel like it's going to be interesting to see how many guys that Patino ends up playing, right? I think he's going to stay around that 7 to 9 mark. but it's all going to depend on how the flow of the game is going.
For the record, House averaged 23 points over the 4 games.
Wow.
He only had 16 against the Air Force, but he didn't have to play as much, right? He played 25 minutes in that game because they blew him out. 29 against Boise State, 19 against Colorado State, and 28 in the final. Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
No, Kenny, you mentioned that you liked what you saw from the bench in this tournament, and maybe there was a little more flexibility from Richard Pitino. And when we talked with him, he brought up the fact that he was more willing to go with True Washington or Jamal Baker in matchups if this team needed the rebounding and size. So what do you think of just that little adjustment of even Jamal Mashburn, if he's playing 25 minutes a game and just getting a little bit more out of Baker and Washington at this point in time?
That's a great question, man, because I think Baker's playing tremendous ball. There was one game he came in and hit a couple threes, and it was just him and House, and they had the first 13 points or 16 points or something like that, right? But I even like the fact that how Pitino, he had to go to his bench, and Forsling came in, right? And he gave some great minutes at the right time. So I'm going to hit this hard, man, you guys, because if they don't get JT the ball or get JT going to where he's not going to have to get everything on the offensive rebounds, it's going to be difficult, I think.
Inside out will help too. I mean, going through him to grip the guards, because I got to believe Clemson's going to really try to shut down the guards and slow House down.
Exactly.
Get into that. Hey, your buddies, your generation of players. Obviously, you're proud of what you were, and watching you and Chad and Jamal go at it with Van Tate the other day about what era is the best is always good. But it's kind of fun to watch every generation of Lobo alumni come back. And what's your text threads been like? The fact that they're back in the tournament for the first time in a decade. What's the pride like being a Lobo alum and watching this go down?
Hell yeah, man. Hey, let me tell you something. It pisses me off when I hear Aggies. And I'm not even talking about the Aggies. I'm talking about the New Mexico State. It's made me mad. And I am beyond proud. And go ahead.
What made you mad? What do you mean it made you mad to hear that?
Because they're always talking about Las Cruces, the Aggies, right? Like, for the last several years, the Aggies have been better than the Lobos, right? Before all the crap that started happening over the last couple of years. And then it pisses me off when people say Mexico instead of New Mexico. That really pisses me off. And then now, the fact that they're being disrespected with an 11 seed, they should have been way higher, I think. But between me, Clayton, Shields, Royce Only, we got a group text going on, and then we're texting during the game, and we're all excited. And the fact that Lobo basketball is back where it's supposed to be, because I feel like my group of guys for 4 years, 95 to 99, I think we set a total different precedent as far as Lobo basketball and how it should be, and it was very consistent. And now Pitino has it consistent again, and it's been like 2 years. So I'm very proud.
Yeah, it's quite a time, and quite just going back. You say where they should be, and it's been a while, man. It's been a while. All right, how good is this team? And I asked it. It's such an open-ended question. It's important to be playing well at the end of the year, but not everybody is. Not everybody who's won a national championship won their conference tournament. After a week off, when you play like that for 4 days and 4 nights, I know you want your rest. But, man, do you want a week off, or do you want to play in 3 days? Do you want to play in 2 days?
Oh, man, that's the tough thing about it, because everything has to be factored in, right? Like, going back, there's still, you still got to get prepared to travel. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to school this week. They're probably getting ready to leave, right? It's just a lot of different things going on. But it's going to come down to 50-50 balls, second chance points, and the Lobos being aggressive and getting in the paint, depending on how far they can get in the paint, because I think Clemson, they're long and athletic, right? But I feel like if they get out and run and play the kind of basketball that they like to play, I think it's going to be interesting on Friday.
All right, the rest of the Mountain West. you get 2 games tonight. Not both Mountain West, but you get the Montana State Grambling game, and then Boise State is going to have to play Colorado tomorrow. Virginia, Colorado State tonight. What do you think when you saw those 2 Mountain West teams, Boise State and Colorado State, in the first 4 playing bracket?
Oh man, they're in.
Yep.
That's all that matters, right? Because how many times have we seen an upset right away happen? How many times have we seen a 16 beat a 1 right away? It can happen. How many teams are in from the Mountain West?
6.
That's in 5?
6.
Wow. See, that right there is showing that the Mountain West Conference is making some noise. And if they can come back and build off of what they just did this year, I feel like it's going to stay on the map, because obviously you got some bigger conferences that are used to getting like more schools in, but that's totally shifted. That's not even happening the way that it usually does, right? So I just feel like they just got to take it one day at a time, one half at a time, and then just see where they're at. And if they can keep it close, I think they got a total good chance of coming home with the win.
All right, Kenny's going to be on with us on Friday, and then he'll be on Lobo Live over on News Radio KQB after the game. It's 1:10 is the game on Mountain Time over on News Radio KQB, and then after the post-game show, you'll take the college show.
Yes, sir.
All right, enjoy.
505-243-3333. Call your boy or text me. I will be with Brandon. Hopefully after the game, it's a good show because they won.
Yeah, they're fun when you win. All right, enjoy your home, and appreciate you spending time with us. We'll talk to you next week, or talk to you on Friday.
Man, I appreciate you, my guy. Thanks, JJ. Talk to you guys soon.
See you. Kenny Thomas, Kicking It with Kenny, here on the Sports Animal. It was appreciated perspective of a guy who's been there. So that dude, for those of you who don't know, who aren't familiar with Kenny or his tenure, when Kenny was here, he played 4 years. That was when you played 4 years in college.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you stay in the same place. I know it sounds ridiculous. Like when you get what? Only 4 years?
Played 4 years?
Yeah.
He made it through his senior year?
They not only went to the NCAA tournament all 4 of Kenny's years on campus, they went to the second round. They won a game in the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row. And they were having a conversation over on a special with Van Tate on Channel 13. It was Kenny, and it was Chad Adams and Jamal Fenton from the Steve Alford era. And Van asked him, what's the best era of Lobo basketball? Yeah, we won all these nets. And to me, the easy answer is we went to the NCAA tournament second round, round of 32 4 years in a row. And you? Well, I mean, the nets are cute, and I'm glad you guys won, but what's the goal? Is it? And you can ask yourself, what's the goal? Is the goal to cut down nets at the conference tournament? Or is it to go deep in the NCAA tournament? I don't know if deep is the round of 32, but they won a game every year. I mean, to me, it's pretty definitive. Going into the second round of the NCAA tournament for 4 years in a row is the most successful run of Lobo basketball, period. I mean, I think...
Yes,
tell
end
me
of story.
Yeah, I think so.
I do think the tournament one is really interesting. Kenny Thomas, 2-time WAC tournament MVP.
They won once?
They won once.
Yeah.
And that was when it was played in
the pit, when he was a freshman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was a freshman. They won here. I think it was the last time. I know it was the last time it was played here. But however you define it, to me, it's pretty self-definitive. Now, this team's nice. It's funny. Kenny or Van asked those guys, well, how does this team compare? And they all kind of laughed. Well, easy. Our teams would beat these guys, right? This team's pretty good, too. And see what they do. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The madness is coming.
All six, 3, very.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously?
You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts.
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space, and you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better.
They adjusted, they forced things. Didn't force things. They adjusted to the physicality. Rotations were a little bit different. The guards had to step up. They did. And you look at Nelly Jr. Joseph and JT Toppin, they had to work a little bit differently. Because San Diego State's just not going to give you post. And yet to see those players working hard, especially JT on the boards and the putbacks, and then finding a way to be successful, that's what a good team has to do.
Text line, Andy Katz has the Lobos and Clemson is the best game this weekend. Yeah, everybody's watching this game, man. It's and there's a lot of really good games. I can make an argument for so many of these matchups as being great first round matchups. San Diego State UAB I think is really good. I think St. Mary's Grand Canyon is insanely intriguing. Nebraska A&M is really, really intriguing. Utah State TCU, Gonzaga McNeese, Oregon, South Carolina, right? I mean, there's so many really, really.
The NCAA tournament.
It's the tournament, baby.
The big country. It's a big bracket.
It's a big country, Carter. It's a tremendous bracket. They're a tremendous team.
Did you see your boy Steve Lapis? Did you go say what's up to Steve?
I tapped him, said what's up, and Walsh. Yeah, those guys. So, yeah, I used to do a way better Lapis when Lapis was doing the games all the time.
Which it makes sense.
Get it to the big guy. Get it to the big guy. Yeah.
You listen to one. And so your Lapis, he's only there for the Mountain West tournament.
Yeah, we get a lot more Pete Gillen. We could call Pete Gillen and get him on. And then I could do my Pete Gillen impression for Pete Gillen. You want me to text him?
Yes.
All right. No, he's a tremendous broadcaster, Carter.
Tremendous.
These
Lobos, watch out for these Lobos.
He's one of the best in the country, Carter. It's a big country, Carter.
Gillen House.
He likes to go downhill.
The roof's on fire. Don't put it out.
He makes coffee nervous, Carter.
Mash, you know his dad. Mid-range monster.
Richard Pitino. His daddy's Rick. What he does.
You know his daddy. Stunting like his daddy.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Carter. All right. I know. Give me a couple updates on health. Marquette and Florida both have key pieces that are questionable. Is that right?
Well, Marquette's best player.
Right. Do we know if he's playing or not? Because that really, as you fill out your bracket, that's a big piece of your bracket, isn't it?
It's a gigantic piece of your bracket.
Do we know if he's playing?
He's going to not be 100%. You're coming off an oblique injury.
Oblique. With a Q.
Injury.
Yeah.
And he did not play in the Big East Conference tournament. He's going to play in the NCAA tournament. But
he is going to play.
He's not going to be 100%.
Okay. I mean, I really think that's what it comes down to so much is how far can they go? They're a 2 seed, and I think they're a terrific team, Carter. I mean, I think they're
Big East basketball, nothing like it.
Terrific team.
Should have got more teams in the tournament.
Should have got more teams. It's a terrific league, Carter. Jeffrey, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning. Jeffrey, how you living?
Man, just barely got a good night's sleep last night, and thanks for having me on, by the way. But for irrational Lobo fanatics like me, think about where we, quote-unquote, were 3 weeks ago when we had suffered that devastating loss to Air Force, perhaps one of the worst home losses in 20 years. And for me and a number of people in our population, we were suffering the depths of despair and cynicism. And then to go from that to the heights of elation Saturday night, the irrational attachment to Lobo basketball is almost an extension of our culture for certain segments of our population. And where it really hit me was there was, I think, Serbiak, the talking head. I think he's a former Duke player. He was talking about the Lobos after they had defeated Colorado State. And I think this kind of represents how a lot of the country doesn't really even know much about our program, notwithstanding how much we care about it here. But he says, quote unquote, I just found out a Lobo is Spanish for wolf. So even the word Lobo is so unique to our culture. But for us irrational, Lobo fans, I really want to applaud the team, the staff, the coaching staff, Pitino, for, the devastation that was the Air Force game, to, gathering themselves to the heights of success by winning the tournament. And I'm just so proud of what they've accomplished, notwithstanding what happens in the tournament. For me and for a lot of fans, let's get into the tournament. Now they're in the tournament, and I think they have a really good opportunity to make some noise.
Yeah, that's really good. And I appreciate you. I'm glad you finally got some sleep. Jeffrey, thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was bouncing around this this message board. And I don't do this a lot, but I try to find a Clemson message board just to see, what do they think? I can't find the thread right now, but I found it yesterday, and it says, "What is a Lobo anyway?" Right? And so they were all making fun of it. They had no idea. And one dude definitively said, it's those string things you wear around your neck with a little tie at the top, usually turquoise. They thought it was a bolo tie.
Wow.
And then one guy finally said, it's a Mexican gray wolf. Here's Webster's definition. And they had no clue, dude. None, which is fine. Why would they know what a Lobo is? And then
You find the best of society on the message.
Well, and then there was another one on that same board who posted he watched every play of every New Mexico State game, and here was his. We got to slow down their guards, and we got to hit our shots, and we'll win. I'm like, whoa! First of all, there's no way you watch every play of every game, but you just watch. You spent, Lord knows, 24 hours of your life, and your takeaways were we should slow down their guards and we should hit shots. Thank you, Coach Wooden.
You could host a radio show.
I mean to tell you what. But yeah, they had no idea. Travis, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Listen, that's that kind of Stephen A. Smith kind of analysis, right? All we got to do is make more shots, and then we're gonna win the game.
Yep. Score more points.
Real in-depth stuff that you find on Twitter. That Twitter analysis. I will say one thing about the bracket. Everywhere I've been to, everywhere I've looked, no one is happy about this bracket. Regardless of team, regardless of conference, I haven't heard anyone say they're happy about it. I don't know. Maybe UConn and Purdue are pretty happy about it, but if the Mountain West really wants the respect that we all think that they deserve. We really need to have more than one team playing in the second weekend. And the good news is that starts tonight. Colorado and Isaiah Stevens need to leave no doubt tonight and beat Virginia. And I'll say with the Clemson matchup, look, I love the matchup. And I'm sure Clemson is trying to get themselves ready for this game. And I'm sure we'll talk more about the X's and O's as the week goes on. But it doesn't matter how much film you watch. You simply cannot replicate the Lobos on-ball pressure. I mean, you can't replicate House's energy. That's like trying to replicate Tyreek Hill. You can't do it. Particularly on the defensive end. During the championship game, the broadcasters were talking about the ability of the Lobo guards to steal the ball from on-ball defense. And they were talking about most steals come from disrupting the passing lanes, but they were talking about how rare it is for a team, any team, to get so many steals in one-on-one matchups. And that's what House loves. He loves guarding you tough on the ball, getting cookies, picking your pocket. If you drive past him, you better have your head on a swivel because he'll come behind you and pick your pocket. And you can't replicate that. It doesn't matter how much film, it's not going to happen. And I will say just a couple of things just about the players themselves. I'm worried about Clemson's P.J. Hall. He's big, he is talented, and he can shoot the three ball at a really high level. And it's going to be really important that the Lobo Bigs stay out of foul trouble against him, because when we go to the bench, we do lose something there, even though Amzil has been incredible and Mushila had some incredible minutes. But in addition to that, Joseph Girard is one of the best three-point shooters in the country. And so, there's a lot of work for this team to do. And as much as everyone is picking this upset, Vegas is favoring this game heavy for the Lobos. This is not an easy game, and there are some particularly talented players on that squad. But if you think you're going to get some bench squad player to replicate Jalen House in practice, it's not going to happen. Have a good day, fellas.
That's good. Let me read you this real quick. What eggs, EGGSACTLY, what exactly is a Lobo? My nephew says it's a small and medium-sized aquatic rodent capable of asexual reproduction, but I cannot be certain of this. Then it says, with really big teeth like grandma. It's a lone wolf. No, I'm not sure, but it sounds, okay, really? It sounds, and then we get homophobic on it. It's when someone hits you below the belt. Okay, that's kind of funny. Lobo, all right. And then one guy says, he was going to solve the problem. It's one of those Western string ties that cowboys wear around their neck when they dress up, usually with a turquoise slide. Very cool looking, with a wink emoji. The next guy says, a Mexican gray wolf. You have a wild dog. Okay. Not the Lobos. And then the other guy says, it's NM State, not UNM. They can't figure it out.
They did play New Mexico State in the tournament.
They did, and they barely got by them. Yeah, they literally can't figure it out. It's crazy.
Ain't nothing live out there but rocks.
Ain't nothing live out there but rocks. I promise. Sherman, good morning. How you living?
Hey, good morning.
What's
Just
up?
wanted to
Well, I have a couple of takeaways I wanted to share with you this morning. My favorite visual takeaway was when the crowd mobbed the court, but up on the little stage when Richard Pitino greeted his wife, and the two of them were there for that picture. That was my visual takeaway that I really loved.
Yeah, that's really cool.
My emotional takeaway was Forsling actually guarding Ledee and did a damn good job. And when he, that was a pressure moment. He had to play for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he got I think it was officially a couple minutes, and he went in there and banged and did what he was asked to do. And, you got a body, use it when you need to use it. And that's what he did.
Yep. Now, on the Lobos, I'm sitting at the breakfast bar at the Park MGM talking to the lady next to me. She knows what a Lobo is. But then she asked me, how did Mexico get into this tournament?
No. God help us.
See? But she knew what a Lobo was. So.
Did you explain it to her?
I'm on my way to Memphis on Thursday.
Nice. Did she tell you speak pretty good English for being Mexican? God bless
and I tell you what, the state of New Mexico should be phenomenally proud of the crowd that showed up in Las Vegas. It was truly stunning.
Yeah. Have fun out there. It was great seeing you in Vegas.
All right. Take care, my friend.
I saw a shirt one time. It said, New Mexico. Smells better than Old Mexico. I don't doubt that he had that experience. I know what a Lobo is, but how did Mexico get into this tournament?
It reminds me of the conversation you had where the lady said, don't you hate the
Jalen House?
Yeah, one of the best players on the team. Don't you hate it? It is just nonsensical. Why would you hate the best player on the team that you're representing? It's just like some people say the strangest things.
Yeah. This thread on the Clemson message board is just bonkers. It's not the Lobos ? NM State, not UNM. Who are we playing? You do know they play the Aggies. It literally says you do know the Tigers are playing the Aggies ? Not the Lobos. They're playing New Mexico State, not UNM. Like literally, he's trying to correct everybody else on the message board. JJ, that they're playing the Aggies, not the Lobos.
That's fine.
I mean, at some point, somebody's going to show up and punch them in the mouth and kick their ass. 505-246-0610. For years, I've been telling you about IPS offering you standing guards and 24-hour patrols to protect your home and business. Do you know IPS installs home alarms? They've been doing it for years, but they want to remind you, if you don't have an alarm, you are much more likely to be a victim of break-in. They got a technology team that installs video cameras that will record criminals who vandalize or steal property, and the video will help in the investigation. Bad guys see surveillance that discourages criminal activity. IPS will set up your business with access control. The only people authorized to get in are the only ones who get in. And they'll monitor your alarm and cameras. And when they see something or the alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes or less. IPS provides the manpower and the technology to protect you and your family. It's an award-winning combination. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
And I think Cabral might get
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And I think Cabral might get hurt. Although they
Hey, as far as these national guys are concerned, they're going to know and they're going to respect us when we after the tournament. I mean, the Lobos, they're going to be someone to deal with. And as far as our name is concerned, the Lobos, we're a dog, and there's nothing like being a dog, because when you're a dog, you rip the favorite to shreds when you win, and that's what we're going to do, and especially a hungry dog, and that's what we are. Watch out, people. We're going to be making a move. Bye-bye.
Woof, woof, woof. Right? I mean, it's great. It is funny, though. I will tell you, they're nervous. They're nervous. I just reading their little message board. I guess every fan base is nervous. Richard said, reply to that caller, Jeff, where these programs are right now, it's impossible for the cheerleaders or chaperones to put together a scout team that can replicate the talent they'll face Friday from Clemson. That might negate the speed that the Tiger scout team doesn't prepare for having house. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Or what I learned today. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be cheering for crazy like Colorado State tonight, and I hate those guys.
When you dress up, make sure to put on your Lobo. You can be fancy.
It's so good.
So you can be fancy.
So
I love that.
So you can be fancy. Yeah, it's one of those string things Cowboys wear around their neck when they dress up.
I've seen those. What is the actual purpose of the bolo tie?
It's a tie, but it's not a tie. It's a fat. What's the purpose of a tie?
Keep your neck warm. I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same purpose. It's just
I don't know if
it's
we've
an
asked
accessory to
a deeper question than what's the purpose of a tie.
Well, seriously, I mean, what's the purpose of a tie as opposed to a bolo tie? I guess back in the day it was something about your buttons and to keep you couldn't show your butt. I don't know, but honestly, what's the purpose of a tie?
See, the bolo, now I'm starting to think maybe it's a way to protect your skin, basically, when you're out working on
It's just another fashion accessory, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a style thing. It's any more than a tie is, or a hoodie. How often you put that hood on your head?
I did this weekend when it was
really?
raining.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. No, that's fair. I just there's a lot of things but what the hell's the purpose? But I think the bolo is just like, it's a fashion thing. I'm wearing a tie. I'm wearing a bolo tie instead. Our good friends over at Palms Trading Company, Peter Berger, they had a bolo tie made, kind of looked like it was like a New Mexico Bowl trophy, and the winning coach got a bolo tie after the game, and then they had a big squash blossom made as well. It's culture thing. Text line, it would definitely be good for Mountain West Conference teams to win their games. I hope 4, even 6 of the teams win theirs. Big night tonight, man. Everybody's pulling for Colorado State. Are they 2.5 point favorite, 1.5 favorite? Is that the deal? Over UVA. This is a defense thing. Virginia has defensive slides, man. If you can stop Virginia from scoring, they're really hard to score against. This is an Isaiah Thomas penetration game. JJ, they are really, really, really good defensively, Virginia.
Yes, they are. So one of the things I do like about the KenPom metrics is the adjusted offensive defense per 100 possessions. It helps you explain, how good a team is offensively. It's not just, they score 90 points per game, so they're the 9th best offense in the country. It's not quite how it works. Virginia is 194 offensively.
Okay.
So it's dead on. If you can manage their tempo, you can hold this team to 40 points.
And then just go out and score a little bit.
And Isaiah Stevens, be a creator. Be that dude that everyone has watched at Colorado State.
Enjoy that tonight, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today. Got a few things going. You want to go out to a bar? We might have we got a bar in Clemson, South Carolina we might go out to tomorrow? I mean, not physically go out to the bar, but ask him if he knows what a Lobo is and where Mexico is.
He did play for the team, so I think he knows.
Unbelievable. Jim Rome Show is next. Colin Coward's after that. 2 Men On's here at 4. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Great work, Adrian. Adrian's wearing Spicoli shoes, too. Do you know who Spicoli is? Thank you. Great work over there. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The All-Star Game is back in Albuquerque. March 22nd and 23rd, the state's best are under one roof. Visit nmhca.com for tickets and streaming information.
And I think Cabral might get hurt.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.